Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel have just changed their logo. But it turns out that they just went back. Have a little talk about. What's good, Team Educate? Welcome back to this show. You guys know how this thing goes. We talk about things that happen on the internet. Recent times, Cracker Barrel decided to redesign their logo for simplicity. If you don't know, this is a common practice with modern businesses. Their whole thing is to create a simplistic nature for the consumer experience, or at least so we thought. We actually have a video excerpt from an individual who gives a bit of a detailed, nuanced idea on why restaurants now seem so soulless, bland. You know, you ever go to like a Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, and the buildings in which how they used to be very fruitful, colorful, with life in them, now are very desolate and plain colored, sort of this modern archetype look. Well, he has a better idea of why this is, and obviously, with big conglomerates such as those, you can already guess it's for financial reasons. So let's have a look.
This, by the way, is all because of Wall Street. This is all because of the stock market, because of investors, private equity, and the demand to get more value to shareholders. This has nothing to do with wokeness or DEI, you stupid sleeping babies. Okay? I'm going to explain this to you. McDonald's, the way McDonald's is structured is McDonald's owns the land underneath this building. They own the land. They're the biggest landholders in the United States when it comes to commercial properties. The franchisees then rent the building on top of them. And you know what happens? Sometimes McDonald's go out of business. And when McDonald's goes out of business, they want to put a different business in there and they want to sell the land underneath it. Well, guess what? When you have a building that can only be a McDonald's or can only be a Pizza Hut or can only be a Cracker Barrel or only be a Taco Bell, guess what? It's harder to sell those businesses. So every business has slowly been turning into a gray or beige box because you know what happens when you put a vape store inside of an old Pizza Hut? We all call it, oh, the vape store inside of the old Pizza Hut. Right. Now, in the future, they'll just pull the Pizza Hut sign off and you'll go, I think that might have used to be a Starbucks. I don't remember. I don't know. But all the buildings used to look like this. It's also easier to do upkeep on it. They all have the same dumb awning with these weird little latches attached to them. They don't have to have the special McDonald's only custom ordered roof or the special Pizza Hut red shingle or making sure that they have to do this special lighting underneath Cracker Barrel or whatever was going on with Taco Bell back in the day. They're all buying from the same company. They're all using the same parts. That brings down their cost. They're not building play places anymore. It's not because of wokeness. It's not because, oh, gay people, no. It's because insurance for a play place costs more than just having a fucking McDonald's. Because the purpose of all of these buildings is to just pay off the property taxes while the land underneath it gets more and more expensive. So eventually you can sell it to somebody. Like in the case of Cracker Barrel, maybe the fact that they have land that's connected to the edge of every single highway exit by mid-tier cities all across the United States. Maybe that'll be a good play for somebody who wants to put up electric vehicle supercharge stations. Oh, look how they're all convenient. Conveniently right here off the highway, and we have robots that can serve everybody $12 hot dogs. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But none of this has to do with wokeness, DEI, LGBT, black people, immigrants. None of that shit was caused by this. This was completely caused by Excel spreadsheets and people going, if we do less, we can cash out with more. And that's the American dream, to do fuck all and to cash out with a lot more money. Okay?
That right there, I think, it gives the best example, right? Because all the different buildings, awnings you would see, they would always have a tailored type of building. You know the Burger King building, you know the McDonald's building, you know it by the roof, you know it by just the furnished area, the dining area of how everything looks. You were like, that is a McDonald's. You know, you look at like those old nostalgic photos. Remember like back in the day when Wendy's were selling the cups and orange containered drinks and orange containered, nugget bags? I swear the recipe changed as well. The nuggets do not taste the same in how they used to taste. I swear they don't. It tasted better. The Frosties were a little bit more frosty, if you know what I mean. But the simplicity of this that is what Cracker Barrel tried to do themselves. They tried to add a simplistic form of their company And something that everybody, which is, I think it's given, is that Cracker Barrel has that Jim Crow swag. You kind of need the racism in Cracker Barrel. It doesn't make sense to not have the racism. Does it make sense? Its whole identity is that it's old. And what do we know from back in the day? You know, bad things were happening, right? So we can all come to the conclusion that you got to make it look as old-timey as possible for the aesthetic, the feel of it, the feel-good movement. Here we have an excerpt and an actual response from Cracker Barrel after going back on their logo, which actually Donald Trump on Truth Social gave a proposition to Cracker Barrel to reverse their design and go back to the original logo. So unfortunately, I do not have my glasses, so it's gonna be a challenging one. Okay, it's gonna be a hard one. Okay, let's see. So from what I see, it says, "We thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old timer will remain. At Cracker Barrel, it has always been and always will be about serving up delicious food, warm welcomes, and the kind of country hospitality that feels like family. As a proud American institution, our 70,000 hardworking employees look forward to welcoming you to our table soon." And that right there is a test to, if it ain't broke. Let's look at this video from this lovely lady right here.
When we said we wanted racism out of the United States, we were not talking about Cracker Barrel. I just saw Kev on stage video talking about the new logo. What is that? What do you mean the restaurants don't look like a shack? Oh! If I don't walk in there and feel like somebody's about to call me a slur, I'm not in the right place. I'm not in the right place. That's the only place in all of America I want to feel like that. You can change everywhere else. Leave Cracker Barrel alone.
Why am I seeing that Cracker Barrel redid their logo? They took out the barrel and the cracker. I don't know. It shouldn't feel like a safe space. Like, every time I went in, breakfast was good, but it's because I had my sausages and my pancakes, and I had a little side of racism with the service.
Look, Cracker Barrel, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Put that cracker and that barrel back in that logo. And I'm so serious.
I asked this question. I think I probably know the answer. What if all the customers are coming at you hard enough about the look of the restaurant and they want to go back to the old way? Would you do it?
This is the CEO.
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers. We bring them together and every other year. And the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant. So we're doing everything for our guests and our team members.
It's wonderful to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for answering those questions for all the Cracker Barrel fans out there. There's a lot of great changes.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Robin?
Can I get in writing that the peg game is going to stay?
The peg game is staying.
Okay.
So are the rocking chairs, fireplace, vintage decor. It's all there.
All right. Okay. Because that would be a deal breaker.
And that's it. Now, honestly, I personally have had complications with rebranding. I would say that this channel, I attempted a rebrand to some degree. I had changed the banner and the profile picture. And it really does affect you. I don't think people are fond of change. Even though people try to say that they are, they're really not. It is kind of funny, though, that the best part of Cracker Barrel is that it's racist. The best part about it is that it feels like I need someone to tell me. I need to hear I need to be shiver me timbers when I walk into Cracker Barrel. It needs to feel like I'm back in the Jim Crow. I'm about to get spit on. I got to get to the back of the bus just to enter the Cracker Barrel. But in all actuality, I guess it's just, it really is just a lesson learned for other companies as well. And kind of a deeper insight on how they're kind of using the simplistic nature of the buildings that they use for like financial gain, like the simplicity of modern design and agriculture, property taxes, really just finessing, which is a great way to, create another form of financial backing so that you can, outperform the 99ers. Regardless though, yeah, that's really it. Cracker Barrel, they went back on their line because they messed up, like we all have. That being said, Team H and K, hope you guys. I will see you. Peace.